Yes, come on. Woo! What's going on, everyone? Balls! And welcome back to another match review. 3-2. We've done it. Cavani, the super sub. Oh, I thought this was going to be a very frustrating review. Another drop point, just another frustrating result. A game of two halves, yada, yada, yada. But we got it done in the end. We scraped through for 3 points. Before I get into all the match reaction, all the player ratings, everything, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're new around here, leave a like on the video. All support is very much appreciated. And leave all your player ratings, thoughts on the game, anything, comments below, either in the comment section below if you're watching on replay or in the live chat if you are watching live. And go follow my social media links. They're on the description below. So Manchester United today have got the job 3-2. So we went down 2-0 early in the first half with 2 goals I think could have been easily avoided. I listened to the United stand as I was watching the game. And as Mark Goldbridge said on there, we zone mark on all of our set pieces and corners, which is just, it's not good. It's when you don't man mark on a corner or a set piece. And Maguire was standing at the back post, not marking anyone. He was zone marking. And then you had guys like Bednarek and Vestergaard went to the front post, and then Bednarek was the one that got the header in. And Ward-Prowse is a very good set piece guy. He can score free kicks. He can deliver a very, very good cross, and went 1-0 down. That was just poor coaching, because we shouldn't be doing that. We should be man marking. It's just a better way of defending set pieces. And then we just go 2-0 down, and then it just crumbles completely. Obviously, the Ward-Prowse goal was, crumbles for the rest of the first half, I should say. Ward-Prowse, great. It was a great free kick, but if Ward-Prowse gets a free kick anywhere around the box, it is like a penalty for him. He just knows where to put them. He's one of the best free kick takers in the world. I don't care what anyone says. In the Premier League, he's definitely in the top 5, but in the world, he could score from anywhere. He's a very, very good free kick specialist. And I thought, it's another 3 points lost. We're gonna. I'd be surprised. I was very surprised that we were able to get back in the game. I just thought because since Sir Alex left, we've only shown a few games, like the Man City game away when we came from 2-0, we won 3-2. Been very few times we've actually come back and won a game. I think it was against Middlesbrough with Pogba and Ibrahimovic. I remember. I think scored 2 goals. We came back from 1-0 down. But they're the only 2 that come to mind. Very rarely do we come back from being down at the half. It was defensive errors continually, as it always is, and just I thought, well, this is just this roller coaster again. We win our last 3 games. We beat Everton away. We beat Bakes Sahir or Istanbul, whatever they're called, whatever their actual team name is called. And then we beat West Brom in not a great performance, but that was obviously in the middle of the Everton and Champions League game. And we just thought it was going to be another 3 wins, another loss, but Cavani, the super sub, comes on and scores twice. I was very, very suspect of this signing. He was available for a few months. We could have picked him up. Someone else could have picked him up. We signed him on last day, and we missed out on Sancho. We missed out on other signings, and I thought it was a desperation signing. It's simple as that. And I thought, here we go. We got a bit of a guy that's nearly 34. He's older. Is he going to be able to stay fit? Is he going to have an impact? Well, bloody oath, he's had an impact. He's had an impact last couple of games when we played well. And he just shows over, like, I love Tony and I love Marcus, but he has that killer instinct that those 2 don't quite have. Martial has got a little bit more so than what Rashford does. Rashford's final product isn't great. He can certainly work on that. It's the one thing he needs to work on. But Cavani's finishing, and he's just a poacher. He's a true number 9. That's the first goal that he scored with a sort of almost like a Bruno deflection, and then he was just there to get the header. And then same with the second goal to win the game. Just getting there in the right place, right time, getting the header in. And let's not forget as well, he put a wonderful cross into Bruno for Bruno to get us back in the game. I thought when we got 1 goal, I thought, well, you never know, we could get another goal, and we went on and did it. And I was very happy that we brought Cavani on. I still thought he should have actually come on at the start of the second half. He came on like 2 or 3 minutes in. It should have been made. So a little bit disorganized there, but whatever happened, it worked. So it was a poor first half. Only a few players I think stood out in the first half. But then it was the guys in the second half: Bruno Fernandes, Edinson Cavani, Donny van de Beek. or Bake, if I'm saying it. Fred played really well in the second half. Those 4 guys in particular were the ones that stepped up. Hang on, 5. So wait, no, yeah, those 4 guys were the guys that stepped up for us in the second half. Obviously, some players they had some quiet games, but I think we did enough at the end of the day. Southampton really only had a good 15 to 20 minutes to end off the first half. So I thought we played well the first 20 or so minutes, but when we conceded that first goal, Southampton got the momentum, and they got the second goal, and then we just dropped their heads, and we just didn't. We'd almost looked disinterested for the last little bit of the half, but then obviously we're at a recompose ourselves, come out in the second half. We started a little bit jittery in the first 10 minutes. Southampton did dominate a lot of the ball, but then we got it back. Obviously, we got the goal of Bruno, and then the Cavani. So very, very happy. I thought this was going to be another one, as I said, another one's reviews just discussing just a roller coaster ride that Manchester United fans have since Sir Alex has left. We have some good performances, and we just lose another game. So we need to continue to build this forward. We got a lot of big games coming up. We got PSG in the Champions League midweek. Then we got West Ham. Then we got Leipzig. Then we've got so we've got PSG at home. Then we got West Ham. I believe West Ham is at home as well, I think. And I don't know where we're playing Man City, which is after Leipzig, but I know we're playing Leipzig away. So that's going to be a difficult task as well. So we got 4 difficult games coming up that we need to get results from. So, and I think it will determine Ollie's future, how he can do it. It's a good start to these 5 fixtures, getting this result against Southampton. Southampton are a quality side. I didn't think as I said, I didn't think they did too much today besides that 20 minutes when they got the 2 goals or so. So there you have it. So it's getting the player ratings. I think that's where we're going to head off to. But before we do, if you're new again, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. All support is very much appreciated. I appreciate every single person that tunes into the channel and leaves any support on it. So let's get in the player ratings. So David De Gea, now he went off injured, which was a shame. I hope he's all right, but he got taken off at halftime for Dean Henderson. I think Henderson played pretty well. Didn't really get tested. I didn't think too much. There wasn't really any dangerous shots here to do. There's a couple of half chances here and there that maybe just missed the post from like Che Adams had a chance. And but besides that, De Gea, like he wasn't, I don't think he was at fault for either goal. The first goal was just poor defensive work. And I think that the second goal, again, was just a brilliant free kick. So I give him a 6, average performance. I didn't think he didn't do anything bad. Didn't do anything too great either. So just an average performance there. So 6 for me. A lot of people are going to give him like a 5 or a 4 because they think he was at fault for the first 2 goals, but I disagree. I think he was at fault. I think the defense was more at fault for those 2 goals. Wan-Bissaka. I thought Wan-Bissaka, again, he's just in this phase at the moment. He's not playing amazing like he was last season, but he's not playing poorly. He's just doing jobs. So Wan-Bissaka gets a 6 from me. He just needs to find that form that he had last season when he was playing at top level, when he was, I thought, the best right back in the league. I know Trent Alexander-Arnold was playing amazing last season, but I thought defensively, Wan-Bissaka was the best defensive fullback in the Premier League to a certain point last season. But for some reason, he just isn't quite getting to that form. So I really hope that he can find that form again and push on and hopefully start performing more consistently at a higher level for us in the coming games, especially over these next 5 games, which are very important. Victor Lindelof, 6 for me. I think he had an all right game. Didn't really do anything too bad. Actually, no, hang on. No, actually, no, sorry. I'll rephrase it. Both Lindelof and Maguire, I think you have to still give them a 5 because I think that it's still the defensive errors that continue to cost us goals. And I know that we won the game and I know I should be happy, but we still considered 2 goals. We were put in a very dangerous position and a very tough hole to dig ourselves out of. We were able to, which was very obviously reminiscent of when Sir Alex was here. We were able to do that all the time, but it still put us in a big hole with this centre-back partnership. We need which one would be better suited next to a quicker centre-back. Probably Maguire because he's better in the air, but it could be Lindelof as well. Hang on. Connection's unstable, apparently. Hang on. We're reconnecting. Sorry about that. My internet's terrible. I'm moving house soon, so hopefully we get better internet there. So what I was saying, yes, so Lindelof obviously not as good in the air as Maguire. So maybe North Meccano or someone of that ilk that's quick. I know we've been touted with Varane in the summer, but that won't be till next season. But I guess we probably could get with Meccano in the summer. But anyway, that's a discussion for another video. But we need another centre back. That's all we need. Well, that's not all we need, but that is what we need. Alex Telles, I'll give him a 6 as well. I thought he was solid at left back. Again, he had some good crosses, had some good moments going forward. You could see just the 1-2 play with Bruno and Van der Beek and guys like that. He just knows. He's just a very smart player. He's very intellectually smart. And he's very good going forward. Again, sometimes you can just see a little bit of vulnerability with defence, but he's still very good defensively. But look, you can see Luke Shaw is still the superior defensive fullback. But if Telles offers us that much going forward, it's going to be a good headache for Ollie going forward when Shaw is fit to see who's going to be at left back. Obviously, some games you want to be more defensive, maybe against like top 6 or 7 opponents, maybe you play Luke Shaw, but maybe with these bottom teams like West Brom and Fulham and teams like that, maybe you do play Telles going forward. It's a good problem to have anyway, having a squad rotation. That's what you need. And especially with Shaw being injured, you need a good quality left back in Alex Telles coming in. And same with every position as well, which we do lack in some areas. Nemanja Matic, I thought he was quite poor today. I thought he was really slow. He didn't know when to move the ball on quick enough. Again, I thought that was on a positive note with him, though. I think some of the times with his shielding of the ball and winning the ball back was good. Just some moments with passing and just moments in the game, he was just again too slow. And again, he's just that guy. He's obviously not his prime anymore. He's a bit slower, a bit older. He still does a job for us, which is good. But at moments he does lack that set speed. So he gets a 5 from me. He had some good moments, but again, he just didn't quite cut it. So just below average for me with a 5. Donny, I thought Donny was great today. I thought he played really, really well. Not many. Again, some people are probably going to say they didn't do anything. He didn't get a goal, didn't get an assist. I thought every pass hit the target essentially. Again, the 1-2 passes with Bruno and even Rashford as well on the left-hand side. I think he was just really good today, and I think he's shown Ollie that he needs to be in the starting 11 most games more often than not. He's like a Bruno. He should be one of the first names selected on the team sheet, and I think he played really well. And I think that he will get a 7 from me as well, I think. I don't want to be too over the top. Heath and I'm excited that we won 3-2. But yeah, 7 from me. Donny played very, very well, I think. And 7 is above average, so it's a very good game. So there you go. Fred, I'll give him a 7 as well. His first half was probably a 5 or a 6, but his second half was probably like an 8. So you go in the middle and you go 7. I think that Fred, his first half was a bit It was very like It didn't really do too much. Didn't do anything really great. Didn't do anything poorly. A couple of moments he lost the ball. A couple of moments he made some good passes. But second half he really controlled the game. He's playing really, really well at the moment, and he's been probably one of our most consistent players of the season. And again, he's shown that he is at the moment one of the first names on the team sheet because he's just defensive tenacity is really good. But sometimes it can boil over because sometimes he give fouls outside the box, which obviously led to the Ward-Prowse goal when he fouled him. Can't remember who it was on the edge of the box. He fouled them and he scored the free kick. So sometimes he can be a little overzealous, but at the end of the day, he's playing a very good role for us at the moment, and he's playing at a high level. So he gets a 7 from me as well. Bruno Fernandes, King Bruno, mate. He gets an 8. What else can you say about him? Really, he's just been great. I don't understand how any Manchester United fan can ever have anything negative to say about Bruno Fernandes. He's the captain without the captain's armband. He leads the team from the front. I think he's more of a captain than Harry Maguire, and I don't dislike Maguire, but he's not a captain. Bruno's the captain, and he doesn't have the armband, but he's the captain out there. He's a very, very vocal. Same with Van der Beek. Van der Beek is very vocal as well out there. He's almost like the vice captain in a way. But Bruno is every game he either scores or assists. I know he's a stat padder, but in a good way because he just has he's more than just a stat padder as well. He affects games so much. If we lost Bruno, we would be in a big hole. I know people could say you could play Van der Beek there, you could play Mata there, you could play someone else there, but the drop off in quality from Bruno, everyone else is it's quite significant. Obviously, you got Donny's up there now, you got Fred is close as well, and some other guys there as well. But Bruno's he's just great. Someone tell me who's in better form in the Premier League at the moment than him. You probably could Harry Kane, Son, a couple other guys, but he's definitely in the top 5. Surely I think he's the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League at the moment. But De Bruyne played quite well yesterday when Man City's 5-0 win. But besides that, De Bruyne has been a little bit up and down. But obviously his down is still a lot better than everyone else. And I'm not having a go at Kevin De Bruyne here, but I think he's number 2. And I think Bruno Fernandes is number 1 because I think he's having more of an impact for Manchester United for what De Bruyne is for Man City at the moment. But again, that could be up for debate. A lot of people say Kevin De Bruyne is still better, and that's completely fine. Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno are very, very close. I think Kevin De Bruyne has still just got a little edge in terms of overall, he's still a better midfielder. But at the moment, I think Bruno's in better form. So he gets an 8 for me. Marcus Rashford. I do think he was poor. I'll give him a 4. It's his final product, Marcus. And I don't want anyone to sort of look into, look at all the stuff he does off the pitch. It's great. Yeah, I know it's great. And he's a magnificent human being. Everything he's doing is great. But in terms of performance on the pitch, his final product is still off. He just doesn't quite have the correct decision. We saw times when he could have sent it to Cavani, and that could have proved costly, and it didn't, thankfully, sorry. But and then when he should have had a shot, he teed up for Fred, and he just doesn't quite know yet again what the final decision should be. And I know he's still young, and I hope that it comes in time because he's a great talent, but he just still lacks that final product. And he had some good moments again, but he just doesn't get involved enough as well. That's another thing. Just doesn't quite get involved enough as what he should be, and especially playing as a number 9 today. I think we did really miss Anthony Martial today. He was out with an illness, I believe, from what I heard. So that was an issue. So I think he would have been good up front. And then Mason Greenwood as well. I think he gets probably a 3. I think. Oh, but no, that's too harsh. No, that's too harsh. Actually, no. I reckon I'll bump Marcus up to a 5, and I'll give Greenwood a 4 because I think Greenwood was worse than what Rashford was today. Yes, so scratch that. Rashford gets a 5, Greenwood gets a 4. Sorry about that, going back on it. I just thought that he does make a bit more sense. Then Greenwood, I know he's going through a tough time at the moment. He's a young player, and I know he'll get through it. He's a magnificent talent. I think he's up there with the Ansu Fatis and Vinicius Juniors and Phil Fodens and guys like that. He's not better than Ansu Fati. I'm not saying he could be. He might not be. I don't know. He's just up there in terms of talent, right? He's just not performing anywhere near the levels of Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati's balling out at the moment for Barcelona, but yeah, he's struggling at the moment. I hope we persist with keeping him around the squad and have some games here and there in the starting 11 as well, because I think he will get through this. He's only 19 years of age. He'll come through this, but today didn't quite play as well as probably what he has done in the past. So he gets a 4 from me, unfortunately. And then we move into the subs. And don't worry, I won't forget to man the match this time. And I've forgotten the last week. Donny would have been my man of the match last week. So if anyone wanted to know what it would have been Donny. So in terms of subs, Brendan Williams came on. I think Telles got injured. I think he signalled there. I hope it's nothing serious, because if it's not, Brendan Williams is going to be our left back for the near future, and that's a little bit more worrying because obviously Telles and Shaw are really, really good. So hopefully, fingers crossed that Telles isn't injured and it's nothing serious, but we'll see. It looked like a groin. Looked like he was holding his groin as he came off, but we'll see. Brendan Williams gets a 6. He didn't have too much time to really have much of an impact. And yeah, he got a few passes and stuff, but again, didn't really have much of an impact for me to do anything more than a 6 or anything less than a 6. Who have we got next? We got, I want to leave the final sub till last. I can't think of who our other sub was. Henderson. That's right, Henderson. That's what I forgot. Henderson came on. I thought he played solid, gets a 6. Didn't have any bad mistakes, but didn't really get tested too much either. So just average, assured back there. So confident that if something bad has happened, which I hope not, I think he just got banged up when he hit the post with the free kick, the Ward-Prowse free kick, I think it was. When he clad in the post, I think that just shook him up a bit. I hope he's okay. Maybe Henderson gets to start midweek, and maybe we rest De Gea for the game against West Ham, but we'll see anyway. It's a big game against PSG. If we get at least a point from that week, we've guaranteed Champions League qualification. But anyway, so 6 for me. And then Edinson Cavani. you have to give him a 9, don't you? You could give him an 8, I guess, but I think a 9. He played half a game. The only thing you could probably say off of a 10 would be because he only played half a game. He got 2 goals and assist in 45 minutes. He came on and changed the game. His 2 goals were a true poacher's number 9 finish, just perfect place. Like he was at the right place at the right time and just had great finishing. You can see his finishing is world class. His finishing is world class. He's a bit older. Maybe he's not in his prime, but still he's doing good things. And he's the sort of guy that does this. That can do this for us. I don't think he's a guy that can play week in, week out, 90 minutes or like 60 plus minutes every game, like midweek on the weekend. I think Martial's more that guy because he's a bit younger and he's just got a bit more spring in his legs. But Cavani just showed when he came on today the impact that he can have for us. And as I said, when he signed for us, I was a bit skeptical. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. And especially when he got number 7, I was, no, he's not number 7, he's number 9. But obviously Martial had the number. But he came on and made a big, massive impact for us. And I was so happy for him when he got those goals. And this little bow and arrow, mate. Good stuff. Very happy with him. He gets a nod for me and he gets man of the match. Before he got the second goal, it was a toss-up between him and Bruno. I was probably going to give it to Cavani anyway because he came on for a half and he got a goal and assist and he made Bruno get the goal. And even though Bruno had a big impact on the game, I just thought Cavani came on and played really well. But obviously that final goal sealed it. He played really well today. And that's a few good performances in a row for him. You can see since he's got back to full fitness, he's performing well. And he had another couple of other half chances that some other players wouldn't get off quick enough, but he does. He has that little, like, quick, instant bang, like have a shot. And when compared to Rashford, he knows when to pass the ball, but he also knows when to shoot. Like, he knew to pass the ball with Bruno. He could have taken a few touches and done maybe a couple of skill moves and try to get around defender, which is what Rashford does, but he knew to pass the ball over and Bruno finished, and then he knew when to finish and not pass it off. So, great game from Cavani today. I was about to say great game from me today, but I didn't play, did I? And then we move on to Ollie. I think that the setup was good. I was worried that we were going to go to McTominay and Fred and then having Mata in the starting. I was worried he was going to go back to that and go back to his favourites, but he went to the diamond. And if we're not doing the Fred, Bruno, Donny in midfield, I'd much rather diamond of Matic, Fred, Donny and Bruno. Or even Matic, Donny and Bruno. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing either, even though Fred's been really good. I just wouldn't mind seeing it. But he got that right. I don't think there was anything I could see that was maybe you could have played Cavani, but I was happy that he was on the bench because, again, you can't. I think he's going to start against PSG. I reckon. I think, especially after his performance, I think he's going to start, especially against his former side. He's going to want to prove him wrong. I think he did. I'm very certain he didn't play in the first game that we played against them, so he's going to want to come on and make an impact, or even start making it. But I think he could start. And but yeah, I think putting Greenwood there is good. Keep the young guy in the team. Bring him in the team. Sorry, and get some more minutes. Even though he didn't play great, I thought that it was still not a bad position. So, but Ollie, for me, I think he still gets a 6 because the first half it started off well, but it's still relatively poor. I think it was an average performance from Ollie. I think that he got the lineup right. Some tactics weren't correct, obviously with the zone marking instead of man marking at set pieces. You could give him a 7 because we did come back, but I still will leave it at a 6 as just an average performance. Because obviously, if you got a 7, we would have played a lot better for 90 minutes. But I think we played well for about 60 minutes today. So not a bad performance. Not a bad performance from Ollie in terms of manager and above Manchester City, which is good. I think Man City is still. Oh, hang on, connection's unstable again. Apparently you're reconnecting. So it's still unstable. We're going to try and reconnect, or we reconnected. Yep, we're back. Sorry about that. Again, terrible internet. That's what Australian internet does to you, man. It's just crap. Simple as that. But yeah, I can't even remember what I was saying. I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah, because just with connection going out. But yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, very happy with the 3 point. That's what I was saying. We went above Man City. I think Man City are still I think they're the team to beat this year. I think Tottenham and Chelsea are also near that. It's going to be a very pivotal game coming up between Tottenham and Chelsea. I think Tottenham are just going to get the job done. If anyone's asking for a prediction on that, maybe you're not, maybe you are, but you just got it there for you. So I think Son and Kane are going to cause a bit of damage. I think Chelsea is still vulnerable at the back. But yeah, so we move on to PSG midweek. I'll do a match review for that as well. I'm doing the Champions League games as well, my match reactions as well. I think we play Thursday. Like in Australia, I think it's Wednesday. In the UK, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see when that game happens. Then we got West Ham on next weekend in the Premier League. So hopefully we're going to get another 3 points there because we still do have a game in hand. So we're still around there with mixing it up with in terms of got places, not even places. Jeez, my English, man. Teams fighting out for the top 4 places. There we go. Well done, Bars. You got your English all up to scratch. But yeah, so we're still fighting it out there. The 3 points there was very important to get. Didn't matter how we got them, regardless if it was considered 2 goals early. We got back in the game, won the game, got 3 points. Important to see. We move on. As I said, PSG, West Ham next week. Let's get another couple of good results, at least a point from PSG to not leave it to the final game against Leipzig to try and get ourselves qualified. But I think if Istanbul or Bakas Sahir or whatever their name is, I'm sorry, I probably butchered that. If they beat Leipzig, I think that no matter what happens, I think we still go through, I believe, or it might even come down to that final game against Leipzig. I'm not sure, but we'll see anyway. So anyway, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Any support, as usual, is very much appreciated. Social media links are in the description below. Make sure you leave your player ratings, thoughts on the game, or any other thoughts you have in the comment section below. And I'll make sure I get to all of them when I get a chance to. Otherwise, that's it from me. I'll see you guys in the PSG match reaction. Hopefully we can get another good result then. I'm out. Cheers.